channel, and in today's video I'm so excited because, as you can see for what I'm wearing, I am about to show you how to create Annabelle the doll makeup look for Halloween, of course, for Halloween, for a nighttime, for a night out. Can you imagine, for a night out? But I can't even recognize myself. I feel like if I walk like this, nobody will ever know that this is me. This is so crazy. But I am so excited to share with you how to create this look. If you guys enjoy it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel and share with your friends and makeup besties. And turn on your notifications bell so you guys get notified once a new book goes up and you join the Bravo squad. So without further ado, let's begin this video. So the first thing I am going to start with is my brows, and I'm going to disappear them. I'm going to grab a glue stick and basically apply a very good amount of glue stick over my brow, and then with a spoolie spread it out throughout every single hair, so that way I know everything is laid out nice and flat. Then I am going, after it's dry, I'm going to grab a loose powder. This one is from Maybelline, and I'm going to seal the deal and get rid of the excess. But then I wanted to apply a little bit more of glue because I have a lot of hair and it's very dark, so I wanted to make sure it's very nice and laid out flat on my skin and very undetectable. So with my finger, just to spread it out throughout my brow, and then with a blow dryer I make sure it's very dry. And then I'm going to apply a little bit more of loose powder over the brow and then get rid of the excess. Now it's time to color correct the darkness of the brow, and I'm using the Dermablend Quick Fix Loose Color Correcting Powder. And once it touches the skin, it's so cool because it transforms into this creamy formula. So don't be scared because it's not like powdery and it's not gonna get all over the place. It literally melts onto your skin, and you want to be very generous. Make sure you apply a good amount of color corrector over the brow. And then I'm using the Joair High Coverage Foundation, and I'm using the same shade as my skin tone first to cover my brow, and then after I'm done I am going to use a very lighter shade because Annabelle is very pale and it's also a very dirty doll. Like, it's not a super clean doll, just because I'm guessing like she's been running around too much for too long. Once I cover my brows, I'm going to move on to prime my skin, and I'm going to be using the Pixie moisturizer, just because this foundation, it's more on the drier side and it's high coverage, so I like to like really prep my skin. And I'm using also the Smashbox Pore Blur stick, and I'm applying it right kind of like on the around the nose area, and also like a little bit underneath my eyes, just because that's where I have like a little bit of large pores. And then I'm grabbing the lighter shade from the full coverage foundation range from Joair and applying it all over my face. And I'm using here the sponge from Maybelline, which works amazing and it's super soft and I absolutely love it. And I'm also bringing that foundation down my neck and also my chest area because I don't have the exact same dress that Annabelle was wearing, so I want to make sure it's very realistic. And I'm bringing it down because, as you can see, I'm not this pale. So yeah, and once I'm done, I'm going to move on to the Milk Contour Stick, and I'm going to be very dramatic with this. I'm just going to draw this line coming down the sides of my mouth because I really want to have very defined cheekbones and exaggerate with them a little bit because she does have very high cheekbones. So I'm going to start off with this regular bronzy shade contour stick, and I'm also going to put a little bit on the sides of my temple because I really want the focus to be on the center of my face. And I'm going to start blending with the same sponge, and I'm actually not going to set my face anytime soon. I'm going to set my face at the very end because I want to make sure that all the shading that I do blends very nicely on the skin. And I'm going to be using the nudes palette from Maybelline, and I'm going to start off with the brown shade and work my way up to the darker shade, the black one. And I'm using here a blending brush from Elsie Cosmetics, and I'm actually defining more that contour. And I'm being very dramatic with this, so don't be afraid. Just make sure you apply a good amount and you start blending the edges. And you want to do the same thing on the other side. And you want to make sure you also bring that shadow down the sides of your mouth, kind of like following the guide that we did with the bronzer at the very beginning, and also
grab a pointier brush and start adding more definition and more darkness onto those smile lines. So make sure you smile a little bit and you start adding more of that black eyeshadow, because we started with brown, but then we're gonna move on to black. So that way they're more deepened, they're more pronounced, and we can really make sure that those cheekbones are and very noticeable, just like Annabelle's are. And you want to make sure you do the same thing on the other side, and you take your time with the shading and blending and adding product. It's all about taking your time, and I really wanted to take my time doing this makeup look because it was actually pretty challenging, especially because she has, like the picture that I was looking at, very defined features, and that's why you want to be a little bit heavy on the contour. So you want to also apply that contour on the sides of the nose to make it like more narrow and to make it stand out a little bit more. And then with a flat brush, I'm going to add a little bit of that dark shadow right on the sides of the nose to make it a little bit more deepen and to bring out more of the tip of the nose. So now let's move on to the eyes, and I'm going to apply that brown and black eyeshadow mixed together right on my crease. But because Annabelle has very big eyes, you want to make sure that you draw your crease a little bit higher than normal. So you want to apply that shadow like a little bit higher than what you typically will, so that way when you open your eyes it creates the illusion of bigger eyes. And you also want to make sure that you apply that black eyeshadow right into the inner corner of the eye, like deep in that area where it touches kind of like the bone of the nose and connecting it to the nose contour. So you want to take your time, just build it up, but it doesn't have to be super perfect. It can be messy because we just want to create like illusion of a crease, of a higher crease with this shadow right here. And once you do that, I'm going to grab a flat brush because I feel like when you use a blending brush, you just not get the buildup of the color that you want. So I'm just grabbing a flat brush and really making that inner corner very deep and in, and then blending it out with the blending brush. And with whatever is left on the brush, bring it down underneath your eyes to create a little bit of tiredness and a little bit of dark circles. Not too much though, but just a little bit. And I'm going to grab a black eyeliner. This one is from Tarte, and I'm going to draw a liner very close to my lashes. It doesn't have to be perfect because with a pointy brush, I'm going to diffuse the edges. And this is just going to help me just hide the lash band once I put the lashes. Now let's move on to the white pencil, and I'm using one from Smashbox, and I am putting this on the waterline, but also I'm bringing it down to literally above the waterline to create the illusion of bigger eyes. I'm going to grab an angle brush and draw a line coming from the inner corner from the tear duct all the way to the other side of where my eye ends. And as you can see, it's already giving me those big eye effects, and that's what you really want because dolls have big eyes, and Annabelle definitely have those very creepy big eyes. And once you do that, you want to connect those two lines, and you want to do the same thing on the other eye. And I'm going to grab the other side of that pencil from Tarte, which has a liquid eyeliner, and I'm going to define now the liner and make it more bold, because what I was doing with the shadow is just helping me guiding where I should put that liquid eyeliner, because when you mess up with a liquid eyeliner, it's so hard to go back. So I always like to create that guide and then go back and darken it if necessary. And I'm going to grab this eyeshadow palette from LC Cosmetics and use this black eyeshadow, which is a lot more dark and I guess more pigmented, and it's just like really going to create that definition and that depth in that inner corner that I need, that I want. Then I'm going to move on with the lashes, and this is just going to pull the whole look together, which is crazy. With only the eyes, you can really start seeing the doll coming together. Once I'm done with the lashes, I'm going to use a mascara. This one is from Tarte, the Lash Camera Lashes Mascara. And only apply the mascara on your bottom lashes that are on the outer corner, because she has like very defined lashes only in the outer corner. So I am going to just draw them out a little longer with that liquid eyeliner brush from Tarte. And I'm grabbing this waterproof cream palette from the Merix, which has all the complementary colors, also white, black, and gray. And I'm using the white to really accentuate and lift up those cheekbones that we need, because we really want the apples of our cheeks to be very pronounced and very coming forward for this makeup. Also, I'm putting a little bit on what is supposed to be my brow bone, and which are my brows at this point. And I'm putting a little bit down the bridge of my nose and going back with the blending brush to get rid of any harsh lines on the skin from that contour that we did. And moving on to the brows, I like to first start with an eyeshadow. Her brows are very symmetrical, and as you can see, I'm passing my own brows, so they are literally on your forehead, and they will not be so detectable, but you want to make sure that the front is very symmetrical and very close together, because her brows are very close together. So I start off with the shadow to give me like a nice guideline, and then I move on to this liquid eyeliner from the balm, which is one of my favorites, and you kind of like go over it and you make sure it's nice and dark and bold, because her brows are very, very bold. And once I'm done with the brows, I'm going to move on to applying the blush, and I'm using the red color from the Merix palette. I'm actually dabbing it onto my skin with my finger to create that more like patchy and blotty effect. It ended up being very real to her real color from the movie, which is crazy. Once I put the blush and I blended it out, I went ahead and put a little bit more and left it like more on the patchy side. So don't blend it out too much, just leave it very patchy. And then I am deepen those contours. I was like, let me go ham on this contour. So with a pointy brush, I place the color and I'm going to start blending the crap out of this contour. So I am just blending, and making sure those cheekbones look very high up. So you want to take your time, don't be scared. You know, you can always go back and add a little bit of foundation over it. And I decided to do more definition on the one side of my face, and I went ahead and I blended it out. So I know it looks kind of scary now and very defined, but I promise you, once I do like some texturing on the skin with the texturing sponge, everything is gonna pull all together. And once I do the lipstick, right now it looks so harsh because I don't have nothing on my lips. But right now we're going to create like a shadow of a crease, because she does have like a higher crease. As you can see, our eyebrows are way higher, so we want to create a little bit of a shadow there. And I'm using a brown eyeshadow, and with an angle brush, just like literally just draw like a little streak of line and then blend it out, connecting it to that deepen eyeshadow from the inner corner, so that way it's nice and faded in. And then I'm going to grab a texturing sponge, and then with this gray eyeshadow from this palette, I'm going to start creating like a lot of texture on my skin, and then literally just apply this all over, even on your chest area and your neck. Just apply it all over and then blend it out the hard edges with the big sponge. Now let's move on to the lips, and I'm using a lip pencil from Tarte, and now I am using a Jouer liquid lipstick. I'm gonna list all the names down in the description box, and I'm just applying this all over my lips, and I'm grabbing a little bit more of that blush and accentuating more of those patches there, because once I put the lipstick, it kind of like it made it a little bit more bolder, so I had to bring out the blush a little bit more. And then with the angle brush, I'm going to grab a little bit of black eyeshadow and deepen the sides of my lips, because Annabelle's lips, they're not like super bright, especially the picture that I was looking at. They're more of like a deep red, so I wanted to create that ombre effect. And then I'm just blending out the edges here with a blending brush. It's all about going back and forth. Once you start adding to your makeup, you start noticing certain things that should be accentuated or that should be brought forward. I'm adding a lot more texture to my skin and then blending it out with the big sponge. And then once I do that, I'm going to grab a liquid eyeliner. This one has a smaller tip. This one is from Stila, and I'm literally creating like cracks on my cheeks. I don't know, the picture that I was looking at, she had some cracks. I don't know, she had a rough time that night. I don't know what happened, but I'm creating some cracks and also adding a little bit of white paint to create a little bit of highlights there. And I'm also doing a little crack on my chin because she did have like a crack there, or maybe some dirt. I don't know what it was, but she had it there, so we had to make it as close as possible. And right now I'm grabbing a little bit of that white paint and bringing forward that chin because she did have a couple of highlights there. And then I'm setting my makeup with the dermablend translucent powder, setting underneath my eyes and also around my face. This is the time where you want to set everything so nothing moves and everything is set in place, and this will just make everything last longer throughout the night. So this basically concludes the makeup look for Annabelle. I'm about to put the wig on, and this wig I got it from Amazon. It was only like $18, and the quality is actually so good, so good. And I only just had to add a little bit of baby powder to take away a little bit of the shine, but it fit me so well. So once you have the wig on, just add the final touches. I'm adding more texture to the skin because it's not completely white. She's like very dirty too. So I am blending it out with the sponge. And here you guys have the final Annabelle. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial.
Alright guys, so we have come to an end. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial of Annabelle the doll. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also share with your friends and makeup besties to show them some inspiration for Halloween. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. Thank you again so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye!